Right now, you feel like you're looking straight at the world, the screen, the room, the edges of everything, all of it sharp, solid, and out there. It feels like a window, like your eyes just let the world in. That feeling is the lie. Your eyes are not a window. They send your brain a smeared, broken, mostly blurry trickle of data with literal holes punched in it, and your brain quietly builds the rich, stable world you think you're seeing. You are not seeing reality. You are seeing your brain's best guess, painted in real time, dressed up so convincingly you've never once caught it faking. Let me show you the gap between what hits your eyes and what you think you see. Start with your most basic assumption. You feel like your whole field of view is sharp. Look anywhere, and it seems crisp and detailed, edge to edge. It isn't. Only a tiny patch at the very center of your vision is actually in high definition. It is a spot called the fovea, and the sharp region is roughly the size of your thumbnail held at arm's length. That's it. Everything outside that little circle drops off fast. Your peripheral vision is low resolution and barely registers color or fine detail at all. Right now, the words a few lines from where you're looking are a blurry mess to your actual eye. Why does the whole world look sharp? Because your eyes never hold still. They dart around several times a second, pointing that tiny sharp spot at one thing after another, faster than you can feel. Your brain takes those quick, sharp glimpses and stitches them into one seamless, detailed picture, then shows you the finished stitch. You never see the blur. You only see the highlight reel your brain assembled. But here's where it gets stranger. Those rapid eye movements have a name. They're called saccades, and during each and every one of them, you go completely blind. If your eyes sent video while they whipped between points, you'd see a sickening smear, like a camera yanked sideways mid-shot. Your brain refuses to show you that. So during each jump, it switches your vision off. These are brief, total blackouts, dozens of times every single minute. Add them up across a day, and you are functionally blind for hours. Hours of darkness, every day, that you have never once noticed. This is called saccadic masking, and you can almost catch it. Look in a mirror and flick your eyes from your left eye to your right. You will never, ever see your own eyes move. The motion is there, but your brain deleted it. And it doesn't just delete the blackout, it hides the seam. The brain takes whatever you see right after the jump and smears it backwards in time to fill the gap, so the blackout feels like it never happened. You've probably felt the side effect without knowing. Glance at a ticking clock, and that first second often seems to last too long, frozen, stretched. That's your brain backdating the moment your eyes landed, padding the gap with extra time. It even has a name, chronostasis, the stopped clock illusion. So sit with this. You are blind for hours a day, your eyes are mostly blurry, and your brain papers over all of it so smoothly, the world feels perfectly continuous. And we are only getting started. Because now I want you to look at the holes, and I don't mean a metaphor. Each of your eyes has a literal hole in it, a spot where you are completely blind, right now, in the middle of your view. It's there because the wiring of your eye is frankly backwards. The nerve that carries everything your eye sees punches straight through the back of the retina to reach your brain. And at that exit point, there are no light sensors at all. That gap is your blind spot, and it is not tiny. It is big enough to swallow several full moons sitting side by side in the sky, a real chunk of your visual field in each eye where you simply cannot see anything. You can prove it on yourself. Close your right eye, stare hard at something small with your left, and slowly bring a finger in from the side. At one point, the tip of your own finger vanishes into nothing, then pops back. But notice what you don't see. You don't see a black hole sitting in the middle of your vision. You never have. So what fills it? Your brain does. It looks at whatever surrounds the hole and invents matching surroundings to plug it. If the hole sits over a brick wall, your brain paints in bricks. Over grass, it paints grass. It is not showing you what's there. It invents something plausible and presents that invention as solid fact. There is a permanent blind hole in the middle of your sight. Your brain fabricates content to cover it with total confidence, and you believe every bit of it. This is the thing your brain is doing everywhere, and we're about to name it. because this is the secret at the center of how seeing actually works. Your brain does not show you the world. It builds a model of the world, an internal best guess, and then it shows you the model. Everything you see, the color, the depth, the solidness, the sharp, stable picture, is constructed inside your head from scraps of input and a mountain of prediction. The leading way scientists describe this, associated with researchers like Anil Seth, is that what you experience is a kind of controlled hallucination. I'll hedge here, because this is a big claim. The exact details of how the brain builds conscious experience are still debated, but the core idea, that you perceive a constructed prediction rather than raw reality, is well supported and increasingly mainstream. And once you know to look for it, you can catch your brain inventing in places you'd never expect, like color. Because here's something that genuinely breaks people. Color does not exist out there in the world. Out in reality, there is no red, no blue, no green. There is only light, electromagnetic waves of different lengths bouncing around, a long wavelength, a short wavelength. That's it, pure physics, no color anywhere in it. Color is something your brain manufactures. When light hits your eye, your brain takes those wavelengths and decides to paint them as the experience of red or blue or gold. The color happens inside your skull, not out in the light. You are, in a real sense, hallucinating every color you've ever seen. And it gets weirder because your brain doesn't even keep color consistent. It adjusts the color it shows you based on what it assumes the lighting is. This is color constancy. It's why a white shirt looks white indoors under warm light and outdoors under blue sky, even though the actual light bouncing off it is wildly different. You may have lived through the moment this system openly broke for millions of people at once. A single photo of a dress where half the planet swore it was white and gold, and the other half saw blue and black, looking at the exact same pixels. Neither side was lying. Their brains were just making different assumptions about the light in that washed-out photo, and each painted in a different color to match its guess. The construction step became visible, and it proved the color you see is a decision your brain makes, not a property of the thing. Your sharp world is stitched, your blind hole is filled, your colors are invented. Now let's break the last thing you trust. The feeling that you reliably see what's right in front of you. Because you don't. You see what you're paying attention to, and almost nothing else. There's a famous experiment for this. People watch a video of others passing a basketball and are told to count the passes. They focus hard, counting carefully. And partway through, a person in a full gorilla costume walks into the middle of the scene, stops, beats their chest, and strolls off. Roughly half the people watching never see the gorilla. Not because they blinked. Their attention was locked on counting, so their brain never bothered to show them the giant, impossible thing in plain sight. This is inattentional blindness, and the study by Simons and Chabris is one of the most famous in psychology. Think about that. Visible, in focus, dead center, and your conscious mind got nothing because you weren't looking for it. You don't see what's in front of you. You see what your brain decides is worth rendering. And the gaps go even deeper than missing a gorilla. Your brain holds way less of the scene, moment to moment, than it feels like. If something changes while your attention flickers, even something huge, you can stare right at it and miss the change completely. This is called change blindness. Researchers tested this in the cruelest, funniest way. A scientist with a map stops a stranger on the street to ask for directions. Mid-conversation, two people carrying a door walk rudely between them. And in that 1 second of blocked view, the original scientist swaps places with a completely different person. Different height, different clothes, different voice, and a large fraction of people just keep giving directions, never noticing the human they're talking to has been replaced. This is the real study by Simons and Levin, and it's brutal proof. Your brain wasn't holding a detailed model of the person's face. It held the gist, a rough idea of person I'm talking to, and faked the rest. So the uncomfortable picture comes together. You don't store the world in detail. You hold a thin sketch, recheck it only where you're actively looking, and your brain confidently fills in the rest, even when the rest has changed into something else entirely. There's one final twist, maybe the strangest of all. Even the timing of what you see is faked. It takes time, roughly 1/10 of a second, for light to hit your eye, get processed, and become a conscious image. By the time you experience this very moment, it has already passed. You don't see the world live, you are always seeing the recent past. Your brain hates that lag because a predator that hesitates 1/10 of a second is a dead predator. So it does something audacious. It predicts, it runs a constant forecast of where everything is about to be and shows you that prediction, so the delayed world feels perfectly live. The smooth, instant now you live in is your brain editing out its own delay and gambling on the future. Gather the whole thing into one picture because the list is staggering. The sharp world is stitched from a thumbnail-sized patch of clarity. The blind hole in each eye is filled with invention. The color is manufactured from colorless light. The scene you trust is a thin sketch you mostly aren't checking. Giant things vanish the second you stop attending to them, and even the timing is a prediction, a guess about a present that has already gone. Not one part of your visual experience is the raw, untouched world. Every single thing you have ever seen, your mother's face, a sunset, your own hands, the screen in front of you right now, was a construction, a model your brain built from scraps and prediction, then handed to you, labeled reality. You have never once, in your entire life, seen the world directly. And here is the part worth holding on to. This is not a flaw. The raw truth, the smeared, blacked out, hole-ridden, colorless flood of data hitting your eyes is unusable. You could never live inside that. It would be chaos. The construction is the gift. Your brain takes that unlivable mess and dozens of times a second builds you a calm, stable, gorgeous world you can move through, love in, and survive in. The hallucination is what lets you function. It is a small miracle running behind your eyes every waking moment. So the next time the world looks sharp and solid, and obviously, simply there, remember what's really happening. You are not looking out a window. You are watching a private, brilliant, real-time painting your brain made just for you from the thinnest of clues. You don't see reality. You see the story your brain writes, and seeing itself the most solid, obvious thing in your life turns out to be one of its deepest lies. This was one of them. Follow Mind Stuff, and I'll show you the next one.